Ladies and gentlemen, we are back for another grand episode of none other than Battle for Bikini Bottom. GameCube, PS2, Xbox. I'm playing it on GameCube via emulator. Last time we had a grand all episode about Jellyfish Fields. And this time, we are in downtown Bikini Bottom. And if you hear me out of breath, it's because I was just eating dip. Some pretty fired chicken and ranch dip. And cheddar.
The robots are destroying downtown Bikini Bottom. We have to evacuate.
Oh no!
All right, but it's gonna take a while to get all this dust.
All this
Not
dust.
vacuum. Evacuate.
Can we just load them up in the boats?
That won't do any good.
Why not?
Because the robots have taken all the steering
Oh, they
wheel.
thought ahead.
Couldn't we just drive in a straight line?
No, there are too many turns.
Those fiends, they thought of everything.
They've thought of everything.
Never fear, Mrs. Puff. I'll get those steering wheels back.
SpongeBob, if you're involved, I always fear. But I tell you what, if you can pull this off, I'll give you a golden spatula.
How about
Oh,
a
yeah.
driver's license instead?
Nice try.
Dang, man. Well, so this one's fun. If you guys watched my SpongeBob movie game playthrough, or you played that game, then you'll know that there's a lot of things. That one came after this game. There's a lot of things that this game set up for that one. One of my favorite things in that game is the sponge ball puzzles. I wish that they had done more with it in that game. And I hate that really there's only like one or two areas in the game, I think, where you use the sponge ball here. But this is one of the main ones at the beginning. Right here, we have to hit all 5 of these buttons. But there's a lot of tikis up here. So, we can touch that one. We can't touch this one, so we need some help. We gotta get a little bit farther. Okay. We gotta make it. There we go. Alright. Oh! Goodness gracious. And I believe we can touch this one from the rock as well. So we'll need help with 2 of them. We can get the 2 on the ends. Oh, looky there. Nice. And, oh wait, there's another one I missed, isn't there? The other one way over here. Did I not hit that button? I just destroyed it. Oh, I never came back, that's why. I destroyed it, but I didn't come back to finish the job. And then you gotta climb all the way up there. But honestly, not a big deal for us. Just jump on his heel, jump on this saw blade, or whatever it's supposed to be. Ooh, yeah. Some foreshadowing up there. I do like how a lot of the level... Well, no, I don't want to spoil it. I don't want to spoil it. You know me. Even on a game that's 20 years old, at times I'm like, whoa, the game's been out for a while. It's not spoiling it anymore. And then at other times I'm like, I can't spoil this 20-year-old game for you guys. I just like, when I'm doing a playthrough, I like to pretend like I have the knowledge. Obviously, I've played it, and I'll say that up front. But I also like to pretend just for the people that have never, like, maybe they stumble across it, and it's like, oh, you know, if they're subscribed to the channel but they've never played it, you know, not everyone has played every single game, even if it has been out for a long time. Ooh, we barely made it through. Let's destroy this. After you make it through, you don't have to worry about the gate closing on you anymore. So, oh, and every level is going to introduce a new robot type. We got some frisbee UFO looking dudes. They look a little handsy. I need to scoot the mic. I keep turning my face, so I need to just scoot it here. That way it's still in front of me even when I turn. Go Gary! Yeah. Oh, I forgot to. G-love. Or glove.
Somehow I don't think he...
You pretty much have to, you gotta jump down on him to get him. You might notice there is a sock up there. Okay, cool. Can't get to it right now, so don't worry about it. We will come back to it eventually. And then here, don't run into any of these hot sauces because it's well, it's hot, and SpongeBob don't like no hot sauce. Come over here. Oh, I almost forgot. So we're collecting the steering wheels. We need to jump up here, and then you can go around, and we have our first steering wheel.
Scavenger hunt.
2 years running. Thank you. Number 1 in the Bikini Bottom scavenger hunt. 3 years running. Thank you. Okay. Let's open this up. This one's really not as bad. Like, you can make it with like half the time still left. Let's see.
I feel
And
like
that's
a new
well, I mean, there's 1 or 2 more spots, but make sure you hit the tikis to blow them up. That way, you create shortcuts. If you do that, then you don't have to worry about when you teleport or come back or have to go the long way. So, just anytime you see a tiki or you get to a new part of this level, just blow it up. You know, blow it up because you'll get some money and you'll create yourself a nice little shortcut. And we love shortcuts, don't we? Let's see. Oh, here's another wheel and another G-Love. Glove. Glove.
number 1 in the Bikini Bottom scavenger
So there's
hunt.
one, but I think we have to be on the other side, or can we hit it from here? Yeah, we do. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, dun. Okay, so also there's something that I was debating on if I wanted to say it or not. Not necessarily it's a spoiler to this. Oh gosh. Not necessarily that it's a spoiler to the story, but just something kind of like a neat little moment that I had with the game. And I don't know if I want to go ahead and say it right now while I'm thinking about it, or say it like later when I get to that part in the game. I'm trying to think. Also, there is a lot of the game is just trying to make noise while I'm talking, isn't it? I think I'm gonna wait. It's not really, it's nothing to share out in the middle of episode 2. I'll just say it's something for the end of the game, and this theme made me remember it. It reminded me of the memory, and it's just something to do with the first time I ever beat this game. But that's oh, I'm sorry. My phone went off earlier and I didn't notice it because of the music. My bad. There's gonna be a. There we go. So you can get up here. The problem you'll be able to see though is that we are not making this jump. Actually, no. I was like, wait a minute. I've never made it as SpongeBob before. Maybe you can if you're cool, unlike me. But maybe you can't. I know I've never made it. So I usually come back, so don't worry. Because right now we don't have the means to make that jump. And I know what you're thinking, well, how are you gonna make it over there? Because now you done destroyed the robots. You're gonna have to like come back and teleport. Sure, you could do that, but that's not what I had in mind. Let's shut this window so people will quit throwing stuff out at us. Man, I just love this game so much. I wish I could say, I love this game like it's a person, man. This is one of those, it's just like, you know, sometimes when you just really have to let a family member, like my wife, lots of times, I'm like, one of my love languages is like, I just, even if they're not doing anything, also this door is locked, we can't get in here. So he's saying that we have to open it from the inside. So we gotta find another way to make it in. So maybe we'll get to that. But as I was saying, like, my love language with my wife is like, even if she's not doing anything, like she could just be sitting on the couch. We could be both kind of doing our own things or minding our own business or maybe not even paying attention to each other at all. But I'll just be like random, like, you know, I love you. Just because it's like, you know, you don't take things for granted. You never know. You can never tell someone something like that, you know, you love it too many times. In the same vein, it's like, man, this game, I'm not even in a special part of the game. I'm not even like doing anything that's particularly like, oh, I love this so much. I just love it in general. Like, the whole thing is fun. So I couldn't say it enough. Like, I just have so many memories tied with it. You couldn't pay me to hate this game, dude. I don't care if you slap down a 6-figure paycheck. You know, you could definitely pay me to say a bad thing about the game, but you couldn't pay me to like genuinely not like it. I don't think you could pay me to ever like never play it again. There's just some games on that list, like the top like 5 or 10 games where I don't care if you slap down $1 million, and some people say that's stupid, you know, like $1 million will change your life. It's like, okay, but this game changed my life for free. Well, I mean, technically it costed money, but I didn't pay for the game as a kid, is what I'm saying. We'll go ahead and feed the clam. We can go to the Sea Needle. The Sea Needle is one of the other areas. It's, I guess, yeah, pretty much. We'll go ahead. It's like a main area, like one of the 3 main areas, but also side, like doesn't have anything to do with the main story. Kind of, though. I mean, we will be doing some collecting up here.
Someone's broken the Sea Needle.
That's horrible. The Sea Needle is the cradle of Crochet Corner.
Yes, yes it is.
This audio clip in particular sounds like it's coming through like a speaker or a filter.
Just outside the windows.
Mr. Krabs, how can you think of money at a time like this?
Easy. I just cleared my mind.
Money.
Now listen here, boy. You know that I'll give you golden spatulas if you bring me shiny objects. But I'm going to sweeten the deal. If you can break all the tikis here at the Sea Needle, I'll give you a bonus golden spatula.
Why would I want to break the tikis, Mr. Krabs?
Because they were laughing at you and calling you funny names.
What kind of
Funny names.
You know,
SpongeBob butt pants.
That's not very funny.
No.
But they said your mom was ugly.
Ugly?
No, they said your mom was ugly. Mr. Krabs pulled the classic "your mom." So this is a Sea Needle. It's basically a lot of skydiving. There's 4 areas. One we can't get to right now. We'll have to come back to. But you go to west, east, north, south. You can collect all the shiny objects. The key here is that you have to destroy every tiki in all 3 of the main areas, and you have to destroy them all like at once. Like you can't, if you die and then you go destroy the others, it doesn't count because they all spawn back. So it's important to not die. And sometimes it can be annoying because there can be that elusive 1 tiki. If you get a floating tiki will be the easiest to do, because it'll take away all the others that are on top of it. Be careful because we got these tartar guys. He's going for a dive. Oh, how he's floating. Not anymore. Also, if you make it to a new door, you can come over here, grab a wheel, and you can pop open for a shortcut. So let's do the second one. Now you do have to kind of be careful because eventually there are going to be the thunder tikis or the lightning tikis. So that's where you kind of have to be a little, like, be gentle. Don't just force yourself in and rush and, like, smash everything. You kind of want to use some precision. Because if you do it right, you can take everything out pretty quickly. I do like how in the game you can see a lot of the areas. Like, obviously we got downtown Bikini Bottom. But then we have over there, we have, Squidward, Patrick, and SpongeBob's house. Then we have Jellyfish Fields. And then even further, you can see Rock Bottom, the Big Gap. You see Kelp Forest, Yuck, Sand Mountain. Let's see. There is Goo Lagoon. I'm trying to think what else. You can't really see Marmalade because that's underground. And then the other 2 are way off. Well, one of them's in your imagination, but then the other one is way off. So that's cool. Like, I love the work that that's what I'm talking about. Like, it's something that it's not a big deal. It's not even anything that a lot of people would care about. Also, we haven't even met that guy yet, but his name's Chuck, and he is probably one of the most annoying bots in the game. So if you can dodge him, he's the main one that will mess you up because sometimes he can be very accurate. So if he knocks you off, he's probably gonna knock you off, and you're gonna have to start over. But we avoided him, so now we're on our last one. So, okay, good. I hit a Thunder Tiki. Okay, hit that one too. Because on those, even if you don't hit the Flying Tiki, as long as you hit the Thunder Tiki and like make it mad, then it will take care of the floating ones for you, because it'll blow them all up. Got those. So I've got one by himself and one carrying just the regular Tiki. Okay, one left, and then I'll be done. Got him. Ta-da. You can see SpongeBob's butt. You can also really mess up the camera if you pull this way, like back towards you. It's kind of funny because you can oh, and sometimes you can pull that way too. Sometimes you can make the camera act really funky. So we can't go that way. So yeah, you don't really worry about that.
Good work, boy.
Good work. He just turns around. He's like, I had it in my pocket. Well, like, I'm wondering what's going on. This is one of those games where the currency, kind of like, it gives me Super Mario Sunshine vibes, where the currency, like, all these characters have this in-game, like, collectible thing that you need to progress. But, like, if the town or the city's in trouble, you would think that they could just be like, oh, here, take these so you can do what you need to do. Instead, they make you work for it and earn it so they get something out of it, because they're benefiting from this process where their problems get solved. And they're like, yeah, I don't know. Anyways, we got all this done. We're gonna have to come back. It's just interesting, like one of those tropes in games where the characters, like even like in Mario Sunshine, because they're literal, like they need the shine sprites to make their town, you know, better, to be able to live in it. Otherwise it's dark and miserable and everyone's upset and depressed all the time. Not that I don't think they can live there, like it's unhealthy or it's unsafe. It's just, it's not like its true nature. It's basically like ruined. And yet you have Piantas that have them, and blue coins, and then the freaking raccoons, the Tanukis that are selling them right there, and have like they have like 20 of them or something from all the blue coins they give you. I'm like, okay, buddy. So anyways, we've made it over here. So that's blown up. We did this. Let me go grab this underwear. So we've pretty much done everything we can do here. So why don't we... Oh, I forgot. We actually have to talk to Gary. Hi, Gary. Meow.
Yes, thanks for noticing. I have been working out. Meow. Not done.
No.
Doesn't that mean meow?
What?
Oh, that's the entrance to the rooftops, which leads to the lighthouse?
Yep.
There's another golden spatula. I could really use that. Meow.
Meow.
What do you mean, get Sandy to help me? I can get through this. Meow, meow. Oh, that gap looks big. Okay.
Okay.
I'm definitely not making that jump. How is anyone going to get across there? Uh-oh. More robots. Holy Dutchman's ghost! That gap looks impossible.
It's
That's
impassable.
Okay, okay.
So basically, our third character in the game we get to play as is none other than the squirrel herself, Sandy Cheeks. And honestly, probably the most fun character to traverse around as. It's kind of crazy because Sandy was not playable in the movie game. It's just SpongeBob and Patrick.
Here's another one.
And Patrick is probably the most fun one to use, just because I like his cartwheel. It makes traversal a lot of fun and just faster. So in both of the like the big SpongeBob games, I wouldn't even say SpongeBob is the most fun character to use. Not that he's not fun, because he is fun to use. But as far as like my preferred character, here it's 100% Sandy. And then in the movie game, it's 100% Patrick. Also, sorry I have the hiccups. Oh. Oh. You can use her lasso. We haven't gotten to that part. It's supposed to show you how to use Sandy, kind of like how we learned how to use Patrick. But I'm going for all this extra crap. Well, hey, we got some extra monies. we could go ahead and go over here to the next spot I was wanting to show. So come over here. Now we can get over here. Ta-da! See, this is supposed to be like a little sneak peek preview. Be like, that's weird. This gap is impassable. That gap's impossible. It's impassable. Oh, can we make... No ledge grabbing. And she's got a little kick, so... Howdy, Bubble Buddy. So you still get your double jump, but on the third jump, you can basically just hover. Now, eventually it does run out, so you can't do it forever. See? Ooh. Stop just in time. She can do her little air kick, and it slows down her falling, so that's fun, because you can, if you need just a little bit of more room, you can do that. So if you're going like, oh, I'm out of room, oh, cool, boom roasted. Don't know why I said boom roasted, but you know what I mean, to that effect. Like, oh snap. And now we're gonna go here. It's gonna tell us about the chop, and then over there it's gonna tell us where we can press X, I believe, to do the to go wha. Toasted Tiki Texas style. Also, whose house is that next to, like, it's Patrick, Squidward, SpongeBob, and then some random house. Is that Old Man Jenkins? Also with the X, you can swing from these little spinny Texas logos. So yeah, and if you want to, you think, oh, well, Sandy doesn't have a like up attack or a downward attack, but she can lasso pretty much anything, so that's a good little fail safe. But now we want to chop this, and we're just gonna swing. Now I will say, let's go ahead and swing over here because we want to go ahead and open this box. And generally you'd go across there, beat the level, yada yada yada. But I want to come over here first, chop that thing that was making a lot of noise at us while we were trying to talk, and then collect this one. And there's a sock over there, so what we're gonna have to do is, oh, well, I guess the box or this spring, because this pops up too. And then, yeah, okay. So we're gonna kind of swing over here a little bit. We're gonna get some momentum. Ta-da! So this is kind of like the fun in the platforming in this game. And then we'll swing over here. And then we swing back over here for another spatula. 16, I didn't even pay attention, but we could just go straight to the next area if we wanted. No Goo Lagoon for us. No, actually, Goo Lagoon's probably my least favorite out of the first 3 areas, but even with that being said, it's still one of the better areas in the game.
Hey Larry, what's shaking?
I do think some of the quality of the areas goes down later in the game, but it's kind of more so just like they want to turn up the difficulty.
Sandy,
but that's something that can be talked about later.
I need your help. My TV reception has been terrible lately. I need to have someone replace my old antenna with this shiny new one.
A shiny new one.
That there antenna is shinier than a $3 bill. Well, why don't you replace it yourself?
I'm not really much of a jumper.
So what's jumping got to do with it?
Because the old antenna is up there.
Oh gosh. All the way over there. That's the old antenna. Is a golden spatula.
That's taller than a glass of Texas iced tea.
The robots have blocked off that building, and I can't do all those fancy moves you and SpongeBob do to get across
Larry.
these gaps. All I can do is flex.
All I can do is flex.
Yeah, great. So what are you gonna do with the old antenna?
Oh, that? It's yours if you replace it with a new one.
Well, I have been getting bad TV reception in the tree dome. Okay, Larry, you got a deal.
I like all the PNG of SpongeBob's, like the blurry PNGs at that, with Patrick's shorts and SpongeBob's shirt and shorts. Really, that's his shirt and shorts and belt and tie all in one. Let's see. Get ready to hear that the entire level, or most of it. It's this thing, but it also, you'll hear it occasionally, I feel like, in the middle of the level. We can go ahead and switch to SpongeBob. We can hit this. Hit all these guys on the way up. And look, it's a sock. We've already got enough for another spatula. Now, I know you might also see that. That you can try to get. Yeah, I think maybe you can do it. I usually end up barely missing. Fun story is you can teleport to that box. The box doesn't actually need both of them to be open. One of the boxes, which is usually just the second one that you come across, that one just has to be open because then it assumes that you open the first one. We haven't even been over here. Yet we can come over here and be here as SpongeBob, which is not, you're not supposed to be over here. You'd basically be stuck. And I think it does that. I don't know if they did that intentionally, because if the box didn't work that way, well, that doesn't even, my logic wasn't even going to make sense there, because I was going to say, well, then you'd be stuck because you couldn't use the box back. But if the boxes didn't work that way, then you also wouldn't even be able to make it there in the first place, meaning the problem never arose. So I don't know why they did that. I don't know if that's like a weird glitch or they just an oversight by the team. They're just like, we don't need both of them to work. We really just need the second one to work. Maybe that's how they coded it. But we're gonna blow these guys up. And then this random girl is just standing up here on the edge of the rooftop, just chilling, you know, just minding her own business until she gets absolutely nuked by Chuck. Goes flying, just flops around like a fish, and then down the little pipe.
The shinier, the better.
Yeah, so that's Chuck. Ooh. And he can be pretty accurate. You can chop him, you can kick him, or you can just lasso him. Some enemies you have to lasso like that. The Tartar guy can also be mildly annoying. Most of the time I don't find he's that accurate. The Tartar guy is more so an annoyance if you're just not paying attention. The Chuck, I almost call him the Chuckster. Flashback to another Mario Sunshine callback. Giving me PTSD. The Chuckster. I'm a Chuckster. Gosh. I'm sure at some point that's another game I did a playthrough of that already that I might replay as an actual playthrough. I don't know, because that would have been 2020. So, because when I originally played through Mario Sunshine, it was right when the Switch came out and the 3D classics came out. So now we're actually back here where we were as SpongeBob. So see, we weren't that far. Eat at Joe's. Wonder if that's Trader Joe's. We didn't have a Trader Joe around where I'm at. I've never been, but I think they have food. I don't know. Isn't it like a gas station? We do have well, I was gonna say we do have a Buc-ee's, but not really. We have to drive like an hour or two away. I heard they were supposed to put one in my home state somewhere, but I haven't actually seen that come to fruition. Unless it's in an area that's not even close. So now we can get back. And that's how we're supposed to do that. And then we can just over here. Whoosh, whoosh. But yeah, when I first played this game on the channel, really I played when the Rehydrated came out in 2020. I don't remember which one was first. I think I'm fairly certain I did SpongeBob first, because I remember recording and it was also like right when I moved. So I know that part of the series I had recorded and edited at my parents' house before I moved, and the other half I did at the new place when I had moved. And we're gonna go ahead and go over here. I know I'm kind of doing things out of order, but just so I don't forget it. and then right after that, I did Mario Sunshine, and that was probably my stretch of like, that was back when I just did Let's Plays on my channel. I didn't really do anything else. I did variety. There was no sort of like, oh, I was this niche, I only did these games. And even still on my main channel over at Nog TV, go check it out by the way. I still don't really have a niche per se. Okay, so you can actually hit them with the chops or a kick, but they have to be, you know, stunned. Or you can knock something else into them. That always works with a bunch of different types of enemies. But yeah, man, that takes me back. Like, I have a lot of nostalgia for that era, and it really sucks. Like, me and my wife have talked about it a bunch because I want to preface this by saying this is just my personal experience. But during 2020, when like the world was going to crap, a lot of people were in bad health. I get that. I get it was really bad, and like even my wife was like, yeah, that was like one of her worst years she's ever had in terms of just family stuff. And that was a terrible year for her, just like it was for a lot of other people. But it's hard because for me, like, that was a year where I did a lot. Like, I moved in with some of my best friends in life, and we lived together for a couple years. I just started college, and I was really enjoying it. I got a really good job working for my university's football team, my local, you know, the one I was going to. And it was like a dream job for me to work for. Like, that was like one of the better jobs I've ever had. Learned a lot, made a lot of good friends. A lot of life experience from there, you know, stuff that it's just cool to talk about that I got to do, and just a lot of things where like I started working. I was able, as far as gaming goes, like I was an adult, so I could buy my own games, so I was getting to go back and get myself. And okay, right there, you're probably wondering why it intentionally fell off. I did a little trick there. Oh no, did it work? Okay, it didn't work. Dang it. It might be, I wonder if it's by zone. So sometimes, I'll go back to my point, but yeah, that sucks. Sometimes when you get hit, it will knock you for a loop, and it will knock you off in some random direction. The best thing to do if you don't feel like backtracking, just die. Just land in some goo or into a bottomless pit or something. Land somewhere where you're gonna immediately die and respawn, because it will take you back to the last place that you were standing, the last checkpoint. If it knocks you down somewhere and you land there, you're kind of just cooked. You kind of just gotta trek back to wherever you're at, unless you had like a closer checkpoint that was like a if you had like a if you had like a spatula you can teleport to, is what I was trying to say. Oh wow, I've never missed on that, but alright, I guess you can. That's interesting that it's not super accurate. But no, what I was gonna say was it just kind of sucks because you know, like I was having a good year, and gaming wise, you know, I was able to buy a lot of the games. You know, I had been asking for a Switch for like 3 years, but I get it. Like, money was tight with my family, and, you know, asking for big gifts like that, like a whole console, was tough. We couldn't really afford that, so that's why I was really behind. Like, all the Switch games, like Tears of the Kingdom, Breath of the Wild, or not Tears of the Kingdom, Breath of the Wild, like Mario Odyssey, a lot of these games I never played until like 2020, because that's when I got my Switch. You know, I'm a big Nintendo guy. I play a lot of Nintendo games. So it was tough because a lot of these games that people had played and experienced, like I was going back and I had such a big backlog and so many games to play and to try to buy because I was behind. And instead of getting to play them when they came out, like everyone else, I was playing catch up. So, and even still, like now I've done pretty well about catching up, and you know, I've played most of the games that I want to. Not necessarily beat them all, but I own them, or I've gotten to experience them in some capacity to know whether or not I'm gonna like it. But yeah, it's just tough because, you know, it was fun to be able, and I started like video game collecting. I started like collecting old retro games, a bunch of them, like from my childhood. So it's tough because it's one of those things I recognize that like it did suck for everyone else. But it's like I still want to enjoy and be optimistic and like, you know, positive about the year I had, while also understanding that it might not have been the best year for most everyone else. So that's the unfortunate thing. We are going into the lighthouse now. Also, sorry about that pop-up. I have a little volume thing on the side of my headphones, and so when I turn my head sometimes it'll rub against my shoulder because I put my arms up on my armrest, and then it'll nudge the little dial and it pops up on screen. So yeah. Anyways, we're in the lighthouse now where it was locked earlier, so we have to break that thing. Eventually you can stand up here, but the middle platform is gonna break too, so it's pretty much just like beat the floors of enemies. Boom. I always try to land on top of it, and I think we only have like one more floor after this. There's not a lot of them. The bottom floor has got the most enemies. Oh, there it is. Boom. Because if you jump, I've learned that if you jump down, it doesn't start spawning in enemies until you land there. So if you jump down and immediately destroy it, there's no other enemies. See, that was incredibly easy. And it helped because all I had to do was take out that chuck. So here's a spatula. Then we're gonna go over and get the wheel. And I think that should be all. There's also a sock up here. I'll show you where it's at. There is this thing you can hit, and I forgot how you do it, but maybe you can't. Oh well, that's okay. Yeah.
Scavenger hunt 3 years running.
Dun, 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 dun. Also, I feel like we blew through this area. I could have sworn this area was a lot quicker. I've been recording for like 37 minutes, and we're pretty much like, we've done everything there is to do. I mean, we're gonna go get the spatula from Mrs. Puff. That I did not plan on. I thought that would take at least like closer to 45 minutes. You'll have to open it, dude. We just came from there. Yeah. Okay. Oh, we're also missing another sock. I know we're supposed to have 13 out of 14. Where's the other sock I'm missing? Am I really gonna? Yeah. So this one, a spatula and a. Oh, duh. I was on the wrong thing. A spatula and a sock. So we do have everything, because there's gonna be a spatula and sock when we come back, and then. Yeah, we're getting on. Okay. So we really did do everything. That's kind of crazy, actually. That's wild that you can do the entire area in probably like less than 40 minutes. That's interesting. It'll be interesting to see, having done, like, now that we're going to do each area to its own episode. It'll be interesting to see how that goes in terms of... Okay. Yeah.
A library.
Oh,
Oh, I didn't mean to skip through all that. I was just in the habit of pressing A because I was jumping. A library card. Blah, 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 blah. So yeah, so we're at 20 now. Interesting. And we've done everything there is to do, aside from what we have to come back for. So I guess that's going to be it. If you join me next time, we'll be taking on Goo Lagoon. We'll be doing Goo Lagoon, and then we'll probably just, assuming the level's not too long, I like how every time you come in here, or it's right here, it just sounds like a lot of noise and sounds and everyone yelling. That's what it sounds like in the city that I live in, quite literally. And the thing is, I don't even live in a big city. I don't live in a metropolitan area. I don't live in a New York, Dallas, Chicago, Atlanta, something like that, Detroit. I live in Arkansas, and I live in a city where you hear a lot of that, so that's interesting. And it's probably not the city you'd guess either, so, because it's not the capital. Anyways, I will see you next time. See y'all later for some, I guess that'll be next week, for some Gulagoon next time. Bye-bye.